Unbelievable.
Wow.
That was a very short and very precise game. I'm blown away. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it was a rocky start in game number 1 for Hero, but these last 2, he has crushed Puma so badly. If he keeps playing like this and Puma keeps playing like that, this is going to be over with a 4-1.
I know. These games are actually much shorter than I expected them to be. Now let's go ahead and pass it off to our other casters down here on the other side of our stage. Give it up for these guys. Let's hear their thoughts on that match we just saw.
Thank you, Tastosis. I'm not going to lie, here must have been like a 1-1. What? Just crushed it, just snapped it in half, and that is the result we have not seen all tournament long. 1-1-1s are normally nail-bitingly close games, and instead didn't even let it get off the ground.
Yeah, the Phoenix opening really, really strong against the 1-1-1 for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, you take the Banshees out of the equation. But another really cool thing is you're able to deny the mule, and I love that. We saw the Phoenixes parking right over the middle line, lifting up those mules as soon as they came down, limiting the income of Puma in a big way.
Yeah, and Puma called that in the interview, if you recall correctly, his indestructible 1-1-1 build.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like, you stole my line.
I call that my indestructible Steel Apollo's joke build.
Saying anything to you guys again. I'm like sitting here, I'm like, hey, I'm actually gonna say that was an indestructible build, and you like say it before I do.
Well, you gave away too much scouting information in the early game, so.
Yeah, man. But that's like Hero just reading his opponent. That's like straight up.
And you know, worst of all for Puma, I mean, even in the interview up on the main stage, Puma joked that, well, I have my 1-1-1 to fall back on, and it's so good. Sort of said it jokingly, but he has over a 90% win rate with that very build. Now all of a sudden he's faced with up to 4 more games. That's right, good, my math was accurate. He's faced with up to 4 more games knowing that his crutch linchpin build suddenly can be completely easily thwarted by Hero.
That was his map, remember? Like that's his map that he's just given away. That was his map for 1-1-1 that he's meant to be winning on. So when that actually happens and that's taken away from him, Hero's just got the momentum to roll on.
Yeah, I mean, it's also $30,000 in first place prize money. I mean, Apollo even talked about how winning that game 2 is so critical in a best of 7, and now Hero has won games 2 and 3. What can Puma do?
He has to win it, that's for sure. This next game, if he wants to stay in the best of 7, he has to win it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, losing 3 games in a row would be absolutely crushing. But on top of that, you know, every time he loses, he's losing one of his own picks. You know, so every game further ahead that Hero gets is more games that he can fall back on for his own picks. And I see the thumbs, guys.
Uh-oh, ladies and gents, that means that the players are in the game. The casters at the front desk are ready. Is the crowd ready? Good. Over to you, Tastosis.
Hey, guys. Great analysis back there. Just one quick reminder. I want to make sure that you guys vote for your favorite players at Dreamhack.tv. It's a great way for you to interact with our excellent tournament here. So going on to this match, we are going to have the next game with Puma up against Hero here in wonderful Sweden at Dreamhack 2011. Hero really kicking a lot of ass. I want to know if he can keep this ball rolling or if Puma is going to make a comeback. The game has loaded, and we will throw that up on screen for you with our first player on the map, Taldirum Alter. He is incredibly solid. Give it up for Puma! Meanwhile, in the upper right-hand side of the map, Cross spots with impeccable builds that get him so far ahead early on that by the time it's in the mid-game, it's basically checkmate. Make some noise for Hero.
Feels to me, Tasteless, like there is a few more Hero fans out here than Puma.
Yeah, I would say that feels about right from the vibrations on my desk when you guys cheer. So, actually, I have to add, I'm going to look like a newbie for a second, Artosis. This is not fixed spots, is it?
No,
This is the 4-player version. Okay, in some StarCraft 2 maps, they make it so that you have to be in cross spots, and others you do get like 4 starting locations. So I just want to make sure I don't look like a dumbass in front of you guys. So had to put myself out on the line and ask Artosis that. So, again, they don't know each other's starting locations. When you start out on this map, that means there are 3 other places that you could check for. So you may find your opponent in the first place you look. You may find your opponent in the last place you look, and that can actually change the entire makeup of the rest of the game, because the earlier to find them, the more information you have. The more information you have, the more you can use against them with the proper build response.
Well, Hero is scouting pretty quickly here, and he's going to be very happy to find Puma in the second spot that he scouts. That means that Puma is cross-map, he's very far away, and Protoss is generally like that. The further the Terran is away, the more little edges you can take to get ahead as Protoss without being afraid that, 2 seconds later, they're going to walk in your base with Marines and Marauders.
Okay, so the probe getting close. It doesn't look like Puma was actually interested in walling in here. No, he puts a depot here. He might make a depot wall later, but he certainly doesn't want to wall in with his barracks. And I think part of that might be due to his experience in some of these other games where his entrance, which he made to protect himself, ultimately ended up hurting himself with Stalkers firing at their superior range to the Marines and putting him behind in that game.
Well, no real scouting done for Heroes so far, but this is a fast expansion map, especially in these spots. Anything else would be a little bit crazy, so he's going to pretty much assume that Puma is doing exactly what he's doing here, which is a 1 barracks expand with absolutely no gas, and Hero very likely to go ahead and expand off of just 1 gateway in 2 or 3 units.
So Puma is now inside the base. He has the information he needs. He'll probably leave right now because his game timing sense is good enough that he knows he has to get out there before the Stalker goes. And yes, you can clap for that. That's good. I was going to get to that too. He spotted the command center. So he actually has all the information he needs. And that's actually very important because if you're in the dark, it's a guessing game.
Yes, that is very true. Just knowing that that's happening is going to give you so much comfort. And in fact, Hero going to do what looks like a 3-gate pressure into expansion. And if he can get over there and there's not enough SCVs there, if Puma doesn't know it's coming quick enough, then a lot of damage can be dealt with this. So this is a very important moment in this game. Will Puma figure it out? And in fact, Puma already does have 2 barracks up, so he'll have a few more Marines than if he hadn't.
Okay, he closes in here. He's driving him back. Now, it's okay for the Protoss to lose the shields in this. It's actually, that's how they milk it, if you will. They try to take as much damage until the shields are gone, and then they utilize it.
And in fact, his micro is so good that, well, hold on, he's actually running by right now.
Excuse me. And we have this coming in here now. The Stalker inside the base. The Zealots here as well. And this is a fairly simple but very complex situation. Simple to do, but complex for Puma to solve. Ring around the rosy here.
Oh, and so many Marines are going down. And now the 3 Zealots in that main base, they can help more units to be warped in behind the bunker, making that orbital command center pretty useless right now.
Very sexy play here by Hero.
He has run right by that bunker, and he's going to go for it. He's going to run past this bunker as well, not letting it finish. And when he's in that main base, all the SCVs are going to have to come up. A Marauder is out. Concussive Shell's not done yet, though. And this is not a big enough army. Liquid Hero is going to be able to warp in more and more units and deal a huge amount of damage here.
He needs to finish this bunker. The bunker is the only hope left. But I don't even know if that is going to be enough. The SCVs being driven back. The bunker completes.
Oh, my God. 2 bunkers are up, but it doesn't matter. There's so many Zealots here. Liquid Hero just pummeling Puma right now.
He has free reign over the base. Concussive Shells are not finished here for the Marauders. The Zealots, of course, so good against the SCVs. At this point in time, he needs to either bank back and warp in more over here because he doesn't have vision of it yet. Now he does, and he will warp in. The other option is to warp in over here, but back into the game. This 1 bunker alone isn't going to be enough. I don't know. Even if he holds up, actually, to be totally honest, I don't think he can stop this.
No, that is way too many units for Hero, and with his great decision-making and control, it's going to be impossible for Puma to stop this. He's pumping out units as quickly as he possibly can, but the extra warp gates of Hero continue to warp in more and more units, and eventually he's just going to get through all the defenses of Puma. Very little left over, 16 supply to 43 as he runs back for some more Zealots.
Okay, he's actually no longer using this to expand. He's using this to try to protect himself from Hero. He's trying to make a wall. He doesn't want this army coming through here. But, okay, he does not block it in time. And now the Terran army is starting to get pretty hefty. They do have concussive shells, which make the Zealots a lot less useful. The Stalkers go back here to warp in, allow Vision to warp in more over here. As you can see, he's splitting up his army, and a Nexus being planted here for Hero. Actually, finishing here for Hero, excuse me.
Look at this. Hero's going to try to sneak out against Marauders, LOL. I don't think so. Puma's going to pop right out, kill both of them off. So Puma has defended, but he's in completely terrible shape right now. 9 SCVs to 31 probes. And, I mean, we're going to have 5 gates at the home of Hero very shortly here. So Puma has to come up with some sort of crazy all-in. And still, I don't know if that's going to be able to do really any damage off the back of only 9 SCVs.
Hero is just so good at seeing that one tiny hole in his opponent's defenses. It's as small as a pixel, sometimes as small as a molecule. He sees it, he goes for it, and he does the damage. And once again, Puma, if you leave Puma alone, if Puma's allowed to do what he wants to do, he's almost unstoppable. But Hero just doesn't allow that. He doesn't allow him to ever get to that point.
Well, here Puma goes. Some more Zealots and Sentries being warped in. As long as he sees this coming and hits his force fields just right, he should be good. Couple good force fields going down, picking off these Marauders. Another force field going down, and Hero pulls back. Puma losing a lot of units and knowing that he can't really do anything here yet.
Back there, Hero was the fisherman and Puma was the bait. He pulled him in, took out those, misclick. He took out those, he's doing it yet again. Now he's chasing him all the way back here towards his base. And I think he may be going for the killing blow here. With the probe making another pylon, we don't have another bunker here.
Oh, boy. That's pretty bad. No bunker, a ton of units for Hero. He has 5 gates now, so he's going to be able to warp in huge amounts of units. In the meantime, Puma is going for a factory. That is not going to help him at all for quite some time. Probably trying to get up to Medivacs, but too little, too late at this point.
The factory, much more of a long-term investment. Also note, Puma hiding 2 Marauders over here, so he has vision of when the reinforcements are coming, what he's going to be up against. A smart move. But again, I don't know if knowing is even going to be half the battle. I think it might not be any of the battle. It might just be, can you control your army? Can you survive?
The SCV's doing a great job right now, helping to repair, getting in the way a little bit as well, but Hero has such overwhelming forces. More and more units are coming up from his proxy pylon, and he is going to crush through here. We should be seeing GG in just a second. GG!